Right, welcome back. I finished tinkering with my deck after the draft. It's now called Turtle Force, which is quite appropriate. I've got, I think, 3 Colossal Skyturtles. Let's just check. And I've just been tinkering with the mana base. So it's 4 colours. We're splashing 2 colours. We're splashing black just for 1 card, but we're also splashing blue. But we've actually got a decent number of blue sources. We've got quite a few tap lands, so we've got 3 tap lands that give us blue, and a couple here, and also Secluded Courtyard, which that only works for creature types. So it doesn't work for casting the Modern Age, for example, but we decided we've included that anyway because it works well with Satsuki, the Living Law. We haven't abandoned this strategy. I mean, we only ended up with 2 sagas, but we actually have a lot of enchantment creatures, including Gloomshrieker. So I decided he's still worth playing. Because he just gives you a bit of extra value, and he's a decent blocker. He's a 1/3, so yeah, I've had a look through, and I've just been figuring out my chances of getting the right mana I need on turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 to cast all my spells. And it's kind of things like the Modern Age. It's probably about a 70% chance I can cast it on turn 2, which isn't great, to be honest, but it's good enough, I've decided, because it works well with Satsuki. It's draw and discard, so it's gonna fill the role of card draw in my deck. Want to draw it later on, or if I can only cast it later on. Yeah, and we've got definitely an enchantment theme with the deck. I'm running 2 Commune with Spirits, so that can find an enchantment or a land card, so it can help you find the right lands. We've managed to fit 16 enchantments in the deck and 17 land, so 33 cards out of 40 can be found with Commune with Spirits. So I'd have to be quite unlucky for this to whiff. And it gives me a nice bit of card selection late game as well. I can find some of my removal pieces like Fall of Lord Konda, Intercessor's Arrest, and Tamiyo's Completion. It can even find, of course, Colossal Skyturtle as well, because that's an enchantment creature. I have a double. I'm supposed to be splashing blue. I am running a double blue card, Kairi, the Swirling Sky. But with the number of blue sources and the amount of mana fixing in the deck, I should have a 97% chance, apparently, to cast this on turn 6. So that's totally supportable. Because once you add it all up, I've got a lot of mana fixing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 lands that can produce blue. It's 2 Greater Tanukis that can find the island. So that brings it up to 8. I've got Grafted Growth. So that's 9. Basically, if I want to cast it on turn 6, I've got 9 blue sources I'm looking for. So that's definitely splashable in this case. It's the cheap things like Modern Age and Commune with Spirits and Satsuki that they're around 70 or 80% chance to actually cast them on turn 2. So they're a little bit dodgy, but I'm gonna stick with it and hope for the best. There aren't really. I don't think there's better options. I could drop black. The only card is Gloomshrieker, but it's so easy to play Gloomshrieker in this deck because I've got two tap lands that make black, so it seems silly to just drop it. And it's an enchantment creature that brings permanents back, so it's perfect for the deck, really. the card, I have just taken out a card. I was on 41 cards, so I was going to stick with it, and then I thought I'm going to take out Debt to the Kami, which is my other potential black card. It's a nice removal spell. But the opponent gets to choose what they remove, either a creature or an enchant. You choose either creatures or enchantments, and then they get to choose which one they exile. I took it out because I can't consistently cast it on turn 3. That was my reasoning, and it's not an enchantment as well. I can't find it with Commune with Spirits, so it's got cut from the deck. Other things I've cut, I cut Moth Rider Patrol because I'm running 3 main colours really. I can't cast it consistently on turn 1. That's the problem with that. It's not an enchantment as well. Armguard Familiar, also he's not an enchantment. And Papercraft Decoy is an artifact. So, and all 3 of those creatures have got 1 toughness, which is a bit of a vulnerability when you're up against. There's that black Saga, which its first 2 steps it can give a creature -1/-1. So I'm on the lookout for that Saga. I'm aware of that, and it's because it can take out. If you can take out a couple of your creatures, then you're not in a good place really. So I still have a single 1 toughness creature. I've got the Coiling Stalker, so he's sort of a bit dubious in this deck. He's not an enchantment creature, and he's got 1 toughness. But I thought I like the idea of him coming into play after my Gloomshrieker has got through unblocked, because he's an evasion creature with menace. It'd be great to ninjutsu him back into the hand and then replay him and get another trigger, another permanent card. So it probably won't happen in the game, but it's the thought of that is keeping Coiling Stalker in the deck, and of course he can give you +1/+1 counters as well. We've got Roaring Earth that does that as well. It looks like it's got a lot of potential. I mean, if you think of the number of lands in the deck, that could be a lot of counters going on my creatures. And even if that's not good enough, maybe you've got a situation with no creatures, you can channel it late game to make a creature. You can turn one of your lands into a creature with haste. So I think that's pretty good. It's also an enchantment, so that's pretty good. We can find it with Commune with Spirits. Satsuki. So you can put a lore counter on each saga you can control. Unfortunately, we only got 2 sagas. We've got Modern Age and the Fall of Lord Konda. But when he dies, you can return a saga from the graveyard. So ideally, I'm going to get Modern Age back and get to draw and discard again with it. Otherwise, you can return a saga or enchantment creature to your hand. So he could also bounce the Gloomshrieker back potentially, or maybe if one of my creatures gets hit with a pacifism type effect, I can bounce it back and fix the creature basically. So, but it relies on my opponent killing this guy, or if he chump blocks something big, basically, I'm gonna get some upside from him. So I think he's pretty good. He's worth playing in the deck. Then we do have a life linker. This guy could be fantastic with a few counters on him. We've got removal, Intercessors at Rest here. Fall of Lord Konda. It's not a removal card I'm very excited about, to be honest. It doesn't target very many things. It's only creatures with mana value 4 or greater, so it's just there to take out their big creature. So it worries me when I see aggressive decks that are putting out a creature on turn 1, 2, 3. It's not going to do much against those guys, unfortunately, which is why I'm not too keen on this card. Also, at step 2, each player gains control of all permanents they own. I haven't seen very many control magic effects that are that last beyond the turn. So the second, and then it becomes a chumper blocker as well. So but then again, I have lost a few decks with big creatures, so it's potentially quite. It's kind of a. It's potentially good, and it's something you can. If it's really good, if you're up against a big creature deck, you can recycle it and bring it back with some of my other cards like Satsuki. So it definitely makes the cut into the deck. Grafted Growth is just mana fixing. Also gives me another token. It's probably not strong enough to play if you're not playing 3 or 4 colours. It's definitely not worth playing. But I think I need it in the deck. Yeah, Gloomshrieker brings permanent cards back, as we know. So Repel the Vile, another removal card. Tamiyo's Completion, it's another enchantment removal. And then after that, we've got the top end of the deck, really. Actually, I'll talk about March's Swirling Mist first. So I've just added to the deck. I've convinced myself it's worthwhile, even though it's not an enchantment. It does X creatures phase out. So I was sort of thinking carefully about the ceiling, the sort of best case scenario and the worst case scenario with this spell. I think worst case scenario, you'll phase out 1 creature. It will be a bit like this planar incision here, but it only targets creatures. So it could save one of my creatures, or it could fog an enemy creature, stop them doing damage. You're going to have some turns where it's just a fog. You try and fog as many of your opponent's creatures as possible, but it doesn't affect the board. So, because usually if you wouldn't play fog, I certainly wouldn't play fog in draft. But that's just kind of the floor, the sort of the low end of the card. It phases things out, so I believe token creatures will just get exiled when they get phased out. I believe that's how it works. So there's a fair number of token creatures in the game. So best case scenario, you're phasing out several enemy tokens. So if you look at, I've got an Imperial Oath right here, so you could potentially be taking out those 3 tokens just for 4 mana. And I read the rules for this one. It doesn't work with come into play effects, so unfortunately it won't let my Gloomshrieker trigger again, but on the plus side it won't trigger all of my opponent's come into play effects. So, and offensively, of course, I could just take out all of my opponent's blockers for 1 turn and just swing in for lethal. So it could be a good finisher. So it's there's a lot of ways you can use the card. So I think it's going to be interesting trying this one out. But it might be pretty useless, but we'll just see. I was going to talk about the top end of the deck, so the 5 mana plus cards. So I've actually got, as you can see from the graph here, quite a lot. I've got, I've got 8 cards that are 5 mana or more. Now the nice thing about these, only one of them, only Kairi the Swirling Sky, is only a 6 mana creature. But it's worth playing because it's a really good one. The other ones have all got channel effects. So Sunblade Samurai, you can drop for 2 mana to get a Plains card, put it into your hand, and you gain 2 life. So It's quite nice having a little bit of life gain in a relatively slow deck like this one. That could be crucial to sort of just get to my late game. Greater Tanuki, of course, it's pretty fantastic. For 3 mana, you're actually not just searching for a basic land, you're also putting it onto the battlefield tapped. So it's like it's a ramping effect. Gets you more mana on the field. Actually, Grafted Growth is also a ramp as well, because it gives you 2 mana. So I've actually got 3 ramping cards in the deck to help me get out my big creatures. And finally, of course, we've got 3 Colossal Skyturtles, 6/5 flying with Ward 2. So pretty excellent late game creature. However, if I might draw all 3 of them in my opening hand, which isn't great, wouldn't be great, but it's not a complete disaster, because they have a secondary. They have a couple of channel effects. I'll talk the second one. You can bounce a creature to its owner's hand for 2 mana. So that in a pinch that can help you survive. So it's sort of a tempo effect to slow down your opponent. And also you can do a regrowth effect, which is where it's 3 mana, you return a target card from your graveyard to your hand. So that can be pretty handy, maybe for bringing back important removal cards, maybe Repel the Vile. You could also use it. You could use it to bounce your Gloomshrieker. I keep talking about Gloomshrieker, of course. You can actually bounce Gloomshrieker, then play Gloomshrieker to get your Skyturtle back. So obviously you'd probably use that when Gloomshrieker's about to get killed by something. So and we do have quite a special land to talk about here as well. There's, other than all of these fixing lands, I mean, Secluded Courtyard is fixing for creatures, so you can choose a creature type, and it won't produce any mana for that creature. So, but the important card to talk about is Otawara Soaring City, legendary land. So it works basically like an island, but it can also, you can channel it to bounce artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand for 4 mana. And it might get cheaper if I get my legendaries out, but we're not really worried about that. So I guess, yes, Satsuki's a legendary creature who could help me cast that spell. Yeah, so that's about it. Now, my prediction, actually, I'm not super confident about this deck. My previous run was really good with it's pretty much a mono blue deck, where I was splashing for a couple of cards. Yeah, I had the blue-black Planeswalker who makes ninjas, and I had the white dragon who can flash into play and make something indestructible. So that did pretty well. That went 6 wins, 3 losses. So and that's taken me into Silver 4. As soon as I got to Silver 4, I started playing against gold players, so I lost 2 of my matches were against gold players, and the first match I lost was against a bronze player with a big creature deck. He reached late game. He played the 5/4 haste boar, the Ironhoof boar. Followed up next turn with the 7/7 vehicle that cost 7, crew for 2. So his boar crewed the vehicle, hit me for 7, and then the turn after he played the red red saga that takes control of one of your creatures. So that took out my blocker, and I got finished off, unfortunately. So I might be stronger against that kind of deck because I've got a couple of cards. I've got about 4 removal cards that are pretty good at stopping big creatures, and I've got quite a few bounce spells. So this is going to be stronger against a big creature deck. I'm just scared of the aggro decks that are, you know, playing threats pretty consistently on turn 2 and turn 3. I feel like they might just run me over. So this run I'm going to play against more gold players, probably with better decks, and I might get run over. So I'm predicting actually a 0-3. So if I get a win at all with this deck, it's a victory. So I feel like, yeah, I'm going to get brought down to earth after the high of sort of winning 6 games. So that's my prediction. So let's see how we get on. We've got just under 3 hours left. Should be plenty of time. Right, so interesting hand we've got. So we've got all 3 of our ramp cards we have in the deck, and they all cost 3 mana. We've only got 2 mana in our opening hand. We just need to draw 1 land, and then we're okay. So I think we've got to keep this one, and we can at least play 1 card. We've got Coiling Stalker. We can come out turn 2. And there's a land, so we can either play a tap land and do nothing, or play the Coiling Stalker. So I think we just play the Coiling Stalker. So turn 3 we probably won't be able to do anything, but at least we've hit one of the blue sources we need. Okay, so he's a lifelinker. We're going to offer a trade here. I think that would be a pretty good trade. And he didn't block, so I'd come a 3-2, which is nice, I suppose. But now he can swing back and get 2 life points back, of course. And we can start thinking about removal. We've drawn an Intercessor's Arrest. Is it a bit excessive to use that on a 2-2 lifelinker? Oh, well, he's doing Grafted Growth. You see, this is... I knew there was a really good sort of enchantment payoff card. This is the guy I was hoping for, but I couldn't remember his name. So, he's actually, of course, gone to 3-3. He's a bit more scary. Do we do Intercessor's Arrest? We don't know what creature we're going to name. I think we don't have black mana, so we're going to name... I did look at my creature types, so we're going to play this first. We're going to name Beast, because our Gloomshrieker is a cat beast. If we ramp, it's going to help us. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna. A 3/3 lifelinker is a bit of a pain, so I'm just gonna remove him, and we'll ramp next turn, I guess. He's still gonna obviously be able to get cheap enchantments out. I think I'll do Grafted Growth on my planes, and I could make the Coiling Stalker a 4/3. Or we just wait to... Yeah, actually, good point is I don't have to discard these Greater Tanukis. I've got to think. These are potentially 6/5 creatures, so it could be a waste to just throw them out. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, I've got effectively 6 mana in my hand now. So that gets bigger when you exile cards from graveyards. Okay, that's, yeah, not too bad. And we want to cast our Grafted Growth now, before we attack. Onto the plains and make him a 3. So lets him play an additional land. He gains 3 life, and then he gets a so he gets a 3/3. If it gets blocked, he can untap 3 lands. So he's a bit stuck on land. He's got 3 mana, and he can cast a 4 mana enchantment there like that. Haha! Boseiju, perfect card. So that's sorted out his mana problems. So, Fall of Lord Konda, exile a creature with mana value 4 or greater. So that can take out Boseiju when he actually turns up. We want to play a creature first here, don't we? Now, Sunblade Samurai has got Vigilance, which is nice. But I think let's play Greater Tanuki whilst we can. Make him a 7/6. So, this guy, 3/3, yep. This is on the forest. Got some bronze sale, 4/4. And it finds creature or enchantment. So that's another one that would have been good in my deck. He's got Kami of Transience. Ooh, what's this? We better read this one. So, 2/2 for 2, trample. Whenever you cast an enchantment, you put +1/+1 counter on Kami of Transience. So he's a really good enchantment payoff. It's another one I'd like in my deck. And then, if an enchantment's put into the graveyard from battlefield, I can return Kami. So he's kind of he can be a really good chump blocker. He just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. We can play Kairi the Swirling Sky. We could remove a creature. I think we could go with Greater Tanuki for another 7/6. Now let's go for the Swirling Sky. Attack with both of these guys. Okie doke. Stalker survives. So I could exile that guy with this thing. It means not playing another big creature, but maybe that's not so bad, because he's playing white. He could have the white board clear. Maybe I just try and win with 2 creatures in play. Yeah, so he's fixed his. No, Naturalist there, nicely. Okay. At least I could do a commune with spirits here. After I just do Fall of Konda. Just to check, so we've got 7 mana up. Yeah, we'll get rid of Boseiju. And then Coiling Stalker can attack and perhaps get traded off. He's done quite well for hit points. He's still on 16. This is a sorcery, so let's go ahead. Commune with spirits now. Okay, so that's pretty nice. So we could play the Modern Age this turn, or we could have a. Tell you what, we've got loads of creatures in our hand. Let's play Modern Age now, because we can. And potentially we have to discard a card. Oh, Gloomshrieker, okay. So, let's discard this, the Samurai. So, Gloomshrieker can bring back Intercessor's Arrest at the moment. That's pretty scary. We are looking out for effects that let him bounce his creatures. So actually, Intercessor's Arrest is one of the best things we could do on this guy. Killing him just means he gets to come back into his hand. Exile would be good, but we can't exile. We can only exile the 3 mana thing. So he's got Blossom Prancer and some Journeys. Okay, cool. We can drop our planes. So he's going to gain 2 life next turn. So the Soaring City lets me bounce a creature. I guess this guy doesn't have lifelink. This guy does. Yeah, I'll swing in for 6 now. Right, I'm on 14. How big can the cameo transients get is a question. So it's either that or we'll Gloomshrieker and... yeah, maybe we'll just Gloomshrieker and Pacifism that guy. I call it Pacifism, that's an old card from, I think from Visions, 1998. It's called Intercessor's Arrest. And we'll just do it on his biggest creature. End the turn. So he's got Stop My Flyer, which has Ward 3. He could gain some life if he attacks with this. I'll probably... I'd probably let it through, actually. I don't really want my Gloomshrieker deactivated. So he gains flying till end of turn, but not during my turn. So yeah, he's put himself on 9 life. I am just thinking: is there a clever way of? Is there a way of doing lethal damage this round? He's getting a 2/2 first strike. He's going to buff something. He's probably going to. That's going to buff, and he's going to get 3 more life next turn. He's got a lot of life gain in this deck. Befriending the moths. Can't take too long. Right, let's go to combat. Let's swing in. Yeah, I didn't figure it out in time. Maybe I could have bounced that and replayed it. Don't think I have enough mana to do that. Anyway, it's too late now. Don't worry about it. I am thinking about... So his out here is if he just can kill everything. So I want to keep this so I can maybe bounce that guy. And let's end the turn there. A bunch of effects are going to go off. It's going to gain 3 life. That's going to become 3/3 flyer. First striker. There we go, he's going 3 life, so it's on 4. So you can swing in with this and get to 7 life. He's returning, so he's got more of these cards. I passed these ones in the draft. There are a couple of them. I thought it's pretty good. You get 2 cards, potentially get 2 cards back. But I think I was committed to 4 colours about 3. I was 3 cards into the draft, so I was really just looking for mana fixing. So he's got another creature. So that was really good. That's a peak performance by my deck there. I got yeah, crucially I drew that 3rd land, so I didn't get stuck on 2 land. I just played big creature after big creature after big creature. I even drew my removal spells, so I stopped his plans. And his deck was really good. It had loads of enchantment synergy. I was trying to build a deck exactly like his, but then I saw, well, then I drew lots of I drafted lots of Colossal Skyturtles, and it became a sort of a big creature ramp deck. I think I've got there's just the 3 cards in the deck that depend on enchantments. Okay, right, here we go. Exciting hand. We're going to get a turn 2 Roaring Earth. We could do a turn 1 Commune with Spirits. We've got a nice defensive creature there that can pick up lots of tokens. And we've got a removal spell, so it's not very aggressive, but I should survive the early game, and that's all I care about. And we've got 3 of our 3 main colours. We're still looking for we're going to be still looking for a swamp. So we might get a swamp if we find one with this. Well. It's a pretty good top 4 cards. I'll take a Greater Tanuki if I need that. Maybe I'll need that swamp. So just got to remember the order we're doing things in. Roaring Earth comes first, and then turn 3 will be the Bamboo Grove Archer. And oh look who it is. So we will need that swamp. So remember, Roaring Earth first. Just got to be careful next turn. Play the creature first, then play the land. And we're not drawing a lot of land. We're probably going to be using the Tanuki to find a swamp. What did I say? I nearly played a land. Play the creature first. Okay, let's calm down. We'll keep that in my hand for the moment. Play the land. Do we need that bounce effect particularly? Well, we've drawn another land anyway. So what I'd do is play up on planes. I'll get to 5/5. Okay, so that's just a 2/3. So I think end of his turn, we'll Tanuki for a swamp. Because the Gloomshrieker can always bring back the Tanuki. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So potentially we'll, play Gloomshrieker next turn, bring back a Tanuki, play a land and start buffing the Gloomshrieker. Okay, he's got a 4/5. And it is tapped. So it's not that scary at the moment. It's not even going to beat my Bamboo Grove Archer. We don't need to repel the Violet. That's I would say. So we can Tanuki now for a swamp. Which is nice. Now, I nearly did it. I nearly played a plains. That was going to be a mistake. So we're not scared about this guy yet. We're going to play a Gloomshrieker. I get the Tanuki back. And now we're going to play plains and buff up. So we don't have enough mana to do Repel the Vile this round, but that's okay. this buffs things up whenever you cast enchantments. We can use this to bounce Gloomshrieker and bring something important back. I think we can't cast Greater Tanuki, can we? So I think we'll play Secluded Courtyard. We'll buff Gloomshrieker. Yeah, okay. We'll play Secluded Courtyard, selecting Dog. We'll make our Gloomshrieker bigger. So we can now play the Greater Tanuki. So we've hit 7 land. So it's a choice of, we could Repel the Vile. We could, well, attack with Gloomshrieker, and if he double blocks, we Repel the Vile on this, and maybe get a good trade. But I think, no, let's not do that. Let's just play a Greater Tanuki. No attacks. So, actually, when we hit 8 mana, we can actually do both of these effects in the same combat phase, which could be pretty effective. Okay, his creatures are getting bigger now. And then that becomes a 5/5 haste. Okay, Intercessor's Arrest. So I think, yeah, we don't need that as a land. We don't need to keep putting tokens on things. I think a bounce is pretty good. Now, one thing it does mean, I think, okay, that guy can get buffed, and he is a flyer. So I want to Intercessor's Arrest one of these guys. And I think I'm going to do it on the flyer. Right, so I can still Repel the Vile. For Otawara, Soaring City, so I'll attack with both of these. I think we're saving Repel the Vile for this guy. If we need to, we'll try and use this bounce effect on his forest, which will kill off Harmonious in Emergence. Oh no, yeah, it counts as a creature. It counts as a creature. Okay, so he's going to do that. We're just going to ask ourselves if we're okay with that trade. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent trade. So, and we'll end the turn there. So yeah, that's not a creature yet. There's a creature next turn. Okay, 2/2. I think we'll just bounce that at the end of the turn. Okay, he's got his own defensive creature. Yeah, end of his turn. Bounce the forest. Right. He is actually out of cards in his hand. So that's actually going to become a 3/3 when it blocks. So I think I'm okay with my Tanuki getting traded off 2 for 1. Because I've drawn something else. He's getting the 5/5 haster next turn, and I'm playing. Can I play that? No, I cannot. Aha! Right, because. Haha! I used Secluded Courtyard for dock. I only have one island. I only have one forest. That's my mistake. Now, that said, we can bring something back from the graveyard. Let's see. We've got 7 mana. Right. We'll end the turn now. So I actually don't. I'm going to say I don't need to panic about that. I don't need to use my removal just yet. I suppose he is playing black. He could have hand removal. Okay, I'm going to say that we don't wait around for an island or a forest. We'll bring back the Greater Tanuki. Turn. Oh, well, we drew a forest. Just have to remember now, don't play the forest first. Tanuki comes out. Play the forest. And he's now 7/6. Okay, we've got a Coiling Stalker. Right, I think we'll just swing in Greater Tanuki. As tempting as it is to ninjutsu, I won't. Now, I think I'm going to play the Coiling Stalker. something that gains him a couple of life points, so it'd be good to at the end of the turn to take out the blocker. Right. So I guess no, we'll hold Repel the Vile. My turn. We'll commune with spirits now. And we'll get another creature. I think, let's see, I'm on 7 mana, I can do both things, so the play here is just swing with Greater Tanuki. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna actually remove his forest. He might have a giant growth in his hand. Some booster for this guy. Indestructible. Interesting, right. He did have a combat trick. Okay, I'm going to play this guy now. Right, can I get through with 7 damage? Yes. We'll just bounce you. All the time. Okay. So I suppose I'm already wrong. I didn't go 0-3. I'm just surprised I'm drawing my removal cards. No. I feel like I've only got 3 removal in the deck, but they keep turning up, which is good. Oh, no green in the opening hand. We can play that on turn 3. We've got 3 land. It's not very good, but I don't think we can really mulligan it. I think it's a little bit too good to mulligan. We get 3 land and we can play something. Well, there's our other splash colour. So that's 4 land. And we've got a bit of life gain. We're going to gain a couple of points of life. And we're going to put our life linker, so it'll buy me a little bit of time. Greater Tanuki's taunting me. Oh, yes, he flashed that out, yeah. Oh, another vehicle. Oh god, it's another planes. So yeah. So this is the critical guaranteed mana screw game, where I don't draw any green, when a lot of my mana fixes are green. Now he can swing in for 2, no 4 with that, can he not? No. I think if you got Summoning Sickness you can still crew. I might be wrong about that. But we've got some big news. We actually have a forest. He's gonna... yeah, he's gonna block the Golden Tail Disciple as well. He should. Now, the only reason I can't cast a Greater Tanuki is I've only got 1 green source. It seems silly to discard him to find another forest. We can play a defensive creature to stop his hover bike. Or we could use that as removal to kill one of his flyers, which is quite interesting. So let's use our green mana first to play this guy. Right. And we have the right mana to eventually cast this, which is quite exciting. I don't think we attack. Right, 4/3. Do we double block? He's got 4 power. I think... yeah, he might. I think so. I reckon let's double block like that. So it looks like, I bet he's got a lot of cheap creatures to get his vehicles working. That would be my guess. Let's just remember I can always destroy his little flyer. So Sunblade Samurai looks good, followed by Swirling Sky next turn. I think let's swing in for 1. See if he might have something tricky up his sleeve. And I think it's just a Sunblade Samurai. Doesn't have 2 blue for a counter spell. Oh yes he does. He has a Mirror Shell Crab. Silly me. I forgot about that one. I was thinking about Spell Pierce and the 2 blue counter spell. Okay, now let's try and guess how many of these he's got in his hand. We could slow play it. I don't know actually. I'm gonna play my Greater Tanuki first. Or am I? No, let's swing in for 1. And now when he dies, I can get... no, I can bounce an enchantment creature or get a saga card back. We do not have any sagas yet. So we'll play a Greater Tanuki and see if he gets countered. Oh, he made it out. He's hit. Replication Specialist, yeah, it's a nice card. He's tapped out, he can't defend it at the moment. Right, so... yeah, we can swing in with this guy as well, can't we? So, 5 mana, destroy a replication specialist. Seems reasonable. Now here's a silly thing. It tapped both my forests, so I can't cast my Coiling Stalker. I think I just hold on to the planes in my hand. I don't really need another planes in play. Reality Heist. Oh, 1 less for each artifact you control. Top 7 and get 2 artifacts. Greater Sentinel, Armed Guard, Familiar. Nice. The Gloomshrieker has made an appearance. So let's swing into these two. I'm thinking about this ninjutsu play with Coiling Stalker. So block the 1/3. And I think let's not mess about. Let's go. More targets for Gloomshrieker. Target a permanent. Guess who is a permanent? The Skyturtle. So, I think what happens is, except he will be able to activate that. So there's a few tricks and things, but I think all I do is, yeah, if I bounce him, he just activates that response, so we won't worry about that. Keep it simple. I think let's swing in with this guy as well. Yes, Righto Sentinel can kill him, but okie doke. So they can, yeah, they're gonna kill my Greater Tanuki. Do I want to Coiling Stalker this guy though? Yes, I think I do. I think we'll make him a 3/2. I think we could Roaring Earth. Good game. I'm sort of overthinking it, but yeah, I can't actually play. Yeah, let's play Roaring Earth and not play any creatures. That's oh, he's got a lot of blockers now. So we can just play a land and make a really big Coiling Stalker. Yeah. Okay, so we'll take out the Puzzle Maker, I think. Decent trade. Okie doke. Let's pop him back into play. Do we know what we're getting with Gloomshrieker? Yeah, I think we'll get something cool. Okay, it's a 2-lander. We have Commune with Spirits, so that's really good. We can easily find a 3rd land. We should be able to. We've got a blocker. We've got Roaring Earth. We could even play Satsuki, and then with that 3rd land, we can play Grafted Growth. So it's good. We should survive the early game here. And there's a 3rd land already, so Commune with Spirits straight away. Find the best land we can. I think that covers blue and black. Skyturtle's tempting, but I'm sure we'll draw more. So we'll go. Land. The best play actually, I'm thinking we'll play a creature. We'll play Satsuki. That's my first turn 2 Satsuki. And then we play Roaring Earth. Next turn, play a tap. I get a 2/4. He might get blown up straight away. We'll see. Yeah, we'll let that through. There's things like, I think the Voltage Surge does 2 damage. Right, so let's think carefully again. Yes, we've got to do Roaring Earth first. And we'll play a tap land. Good. So this is definitely an aggro start. It's that turn 2 drop followed by a turn 3. We'll have to see if we can survive. Do we even have time to do a Grafted Growth? Well, we can do that. Play a Forest. We'll block the boar. And we'll just see if there's bad news. There is bad news. He had a combat trick. And we don't get to do anything. Oh well. least it's not one of those combat tricks that that's also a cantrip. That's one blessing, I suppose. We'd actually quite like to play... Yeah, we want to play a decent sized creature. So it's either this guy first or Coiling Stalker first, so I think I'm going to go for a 4/4 because that might hold him off a bit longer. Oh, don't play the plains, we've got to play a forest now. And will we play... yeah, let's play a Coiling Stalker, why not? We're going to keep him alive because we want something to put tokens on. So we're not going to block with him this round. Just remember, this puts a token on something as well. I wonder how many Kindled Furies he's actually running. I'm just going to do that and say, right, show me the Kindled Fury. There's the Kindled Fury. Okay. So he's got some very... this is turning out to be very efficient creature removal. I want a flame discharge just for good measure, I like it. Okay, right. Well, that's me shown. Okay, Modern Age. This is definitely what you call an aggro deck. Discard a card. We want... oh, wait. We're going to actually discard that one so we could... or are we? No, we'll discard the plains. We don't want to play Grafted Growth. We'll play the Thornwood Falls even though we can't improve a creature. We'll get an extra life point. I think... yeah, that's fine. Because we do have a 6-drop, which we might want to play. Sunblade Samurai. Oof, okay, that's pretty tough, isn't it? So I think the Grafted Growth gets dropped, and I think we play the Soaring City, and we play a Greater Tanuki. Can red stop a 5 toughness creature? Yeah, I don't like using that just for bounce, so we could Sunblade Samurai. Hold on to that now. I'm gonna play that. It's an island. I'm gonna play a Greater Tanuki. So pretty good use of Flame's Discharge to kill my guy before he got any tokens, I suppose. Oh yeah. Right. He is tapped out, right? He is tapped out. It gets Trample. It doesn't get First Strike, right? I am paranoid. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, so his 4 back in his way. That works pretty nicely, doesn't it? So we can play our Sunblade Samurai. Do we want a 5/5 to stop any Kindled Fury shenanigans? Or a 3/4? I think I'm gonna go for the 5/5 on the ground. He seems to have a lot of cards again as well. Another Sunblade Samurai. Okay. Do we make him a 6/6 or him a 3/4? Yeah, we'll make the Vector Glider a 3/4. Okay, 7/6. Costs a lot to do that, I suppose, so we'll just double block here. He's taking out my flyer. Let's make a 6/6. Who has Vigilance, by the way, and he doesn't have any untapped land, and he's only got 5 power, so we may as well start smacking him around. I completely forgot about Vigilance. Silly me. Probably could have hit him earlier as well. If he gets Pacifism, okay, that's going to ping me for 1, so I'm dead in 9 turns, or sooner, possibly. Interesting one. Skyturtle can bounce one of his creatures if he decides to block with everything. We can give him a nasty surprise, or it can just play a Skyturtle, which is pretty nasty as well. Yeah. So I can basically, it's a choice between keeping this guy alive or using the Skyturtle. There's going to be nothing better than a Skyturtle in here as well, so I don't really need to regrowth it. It is, yeah, we've got enough mana for it. So he has precisely. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Oh my god, okay. He sacrificed his bronze plate war to do that. So I can bounce the Goshintai. Or I could just play a Skyturtle. Strange. Or I could no, I think I just play the Skyturtle, to be honest with you. Yeah. because I wouldn't have been able to kill the Shintai. It would have been bouncing the Shintai, or bouncing the Samurai would have been bad. Okay, that's a pretty good card, I suppose. Let's swing in for 6. Threaten lethal next turn. And can he just kill me because he can get through with at least 4? Scry for 2. He's got 1 card, 4 mana left. Kutsune Ace. Not going to be enough. None of these have got. Good game. One block. Well, that was the closest game so far. That gave me flashbacks to the debacle with Spell Pierce. The guy who Spell Pierced my Ninja's Kunai on turn 1. And I thought, he can't have a second Spell Pierce in his deck, right? And of course he did. So that guy had 2 of the black first strike combat tricks. Okie doke. 1 out of 46. Potentially we're going to have 5 more games to play. I think we can do it. So we can still have 5 20-minute games, I guess. All right, this looks interesting. Green, blue, black, and white. So we've got almost all the mana we need. We just need double blue eventually. What are we going to do on turn 2? There's Modern Age. There's Roaring Earth. Okay, keep 7. Interesting, Gloomshrieker. Right. So, I think it's Modern Age turn 2. And we discard something that Gloomshrieker can bring back. So you didn't get any cheap creatures to go with Roaring Earth. So, yeah. Plains and Modern Age. So that's a good one. Do we keep Fall of Lord Konda? I'll drop Fall of Lord Konda actually. So this is quite a scary thing to see on turn 2, because it grows every single turn. But we'll keep Skyturtle because he is a bounce spell potentially, which is quite handy against these sorts of creatures. Oh, Commune with Spirits. Right, we like both of these cards quite a lot. He gets a land, he bounces, he brings something back. Roaring Earth's good, creature's good, land is good. Okay, so we do have a potential problem here, so... he just gets us a plane, so we've already got a plane, so let's get rid of that one. Now, I'm thinking of doing a commune with spirits. I'm trying to wrangle a way to get Roaring Earth out, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we just have to play Bamboo Grove Archer, and we'll play a tap land. So you can't miss a land drop just because of Roaring Earth. So far, so we discarded these two. There's no rush to play the Gloomshrieker. We'll just... Alright, so we've got 2 green sources, that's pretty good news. And it's just a question of which one are we going to buff up? Probably our flying creature, let's be honest. So we do Roaring Earth. Commune with spirits to try and find a land. Very good. So that's our second blue, which we'll eventually need. We'll play that, and we'll get a nice token on the Vector Glider. Step. Right, I think we'll have to play that as a land. We're getting towards playing a Skyturtle. I think Vector Glider is going to become a 4/5, so yeah, let's play that. What's our removal spell we can bring back? On a value 4 or greater. Swing in Vector Glider. And I think we'll play Golden Tail Disciple now. That's getting countered unless I pay 3. Well, well, well. Which I cannot do. Well, good job I didn't cast Gloomshrieker or Colossal Skyturtle. So, he's running these. They're pretty good. So, we're waiting for him to play a creature with mana value 4. Right, so we could Skyturtle to bounce him. We could phase him out to save us a point of damage. Or we could just take 4 damage. I think we just take 4 damage. We'll just think a little bit about what else we can bring back in here. So we've got a 4/4. 3. He's gonna. So that's not gonna grow this turn because he doesn't have enough mana for it. So that's a 4/4. Okay. Okay, my turn. Kind of looking for a land, aren't we? So I think we just keep swinging in. Hang on a second, he costs 4 mana. Right, so he's gonna, we're totally gonna let him know that that's what our plan is if we do that, because we can't cast it this turn. I think we'll play Coiling Stalker instead. We'll try and trade this off the board and use this trick if we need to. So we can phase out 2 things. Okay. Saber Trespassers. So, pass to attack us. So he's getting through with 8 damage. I will go ahead and say that's a good use for this. So it has basically worked like a fog and saved me from 8 damage. We didn't draw a land. We will play Gloomshrieker and we'll get answer from our graveyard, which is full of Lord Konda. So you might want to keep mana up to counterspell that next round, but that's fine. And we still have a little trick in our hand. I think we can use one of our Skyturtles. As an unsummon. I think that's fine. Master blockers. Now, what? Is there anything just obvious on the board? Any kind of mistake we're making? Like, has that got first strike? No. So we're gonna try and trade that off. He's got 4 cards in hand. He's got something up his sleeve. Ah, it's ninjutsu. Interesting. Very good. Artifact card with mana value. Okay, cool. Right, you can get a cheap artifact into play. So we're not too concerned with that. That's fine. And then he's going to do a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target creatures you control. Okay, that's pretty sweet. It's a nice trick. So both of these guys are going to die, so it's definitely worth it to bounce the Goshin type. And then you can get an artifact out for 3. That's an enchantment. That's only a 3, so yeah, he has kind of done a good job of dodging the fall of Lord Konda. Now, We're keeping that Skyturtle. We're going to Grafted Growth. Put a token on Gloomshrieker, I think. Okay, no. Put a token on Coiling Stalker. Right, and don't tap silly land for this. For goodness sake. We want this to go on the plains. This is going to go on the Coiling Stalker. Yeah, let's put it on the Coiling Stalker. That's fine. And let's swing with 7. See, I can swing with 9, but I'm going to keep this guy back for blocking. Put a token on. There we go. And we can bounce him as well if we want to. So, maybe that was a mistake. Anyway, enter. Maybe just swing with the Gloomshrieker. Put him on 3 because this guy can be a chomp blocker. Oh, he's going to do that. You can return an enchantment to your hand. He doesn't have one. Oh, I've got to resolve that. My mistake. Yeah, so Fall of Lord Konda target as well. Okay, 1/1 mana dude. Now because Gloomshrieker has Menace, I don't think he can stop me next turn. Because Fall of Lord Konda takes that guy out. I swing with everything. Can't quite block everything without any. Yeah. Good. Nice little. He had a nice little ninjutsu trick there. We're bringing a guy with channel off the board. Especially the guy who was going to die to my Fall of Lord Konda, and then using the channel to try and win the combat. So my turtles paid off there without even. They did the unsummon was pretty good. Death Bonnet Sprout, Fungus Horror. Oh, it transforms when you've got 3 or more creatures. That's yep. That's a nice little 1/1. Yeah, that'll do. It mills a card every turn. Great. Okay. 1 hour, 29, potentially 4 more games in 90 minutes. So, 20 minutes a game. That's what we're looking at. Okay, 3 lands, and we've got a mana fixer there. That's good. Yeah, it's one of those hands where, yeah, I don't get to play Modern Age early on. We'll have to keep it, so... And we want to play turn 3 Golden Tail Disciple, so I can do a turn 4. Let's see, so this can be starting quite early. We can't do anything turn 2, that's okay. Gets a 2/2 menace ramp that makes vehicles have menace. lands is pretty handy. Just get that double green down and play Untitled Disciple. So blue black, counter spells, just have to remember that. Can't block anything. Oh, the reality chip. Nice. That definitely gets them nice. Okay. Right, so we can play planes and put that on something, and then we can play something for 2 mana. So we could play the Modern Age. Or, before he can reconfigure Reality Chip, because he's going to get an extra card every single turn, which is very good indeed. So I think we'll play a Plains, we'll play Intercessor's Arrest on that. And we'll just swing in, because we've got a life linker, so we're okay with that. Because we can't block this, or we can't block that. Oh, he's got a big creature this time, so it's... I will come to regret my decision there of Intercessor's Arrest immediately. So, Grafted Growth will go on a Plains, and we'll play the Modern Age. Yeah. And we will swing 3, get 3 back, which is nice. Play a Modern Age, and I think we'll just discard Kairi. We're actually quite close to casting Kairi though. We can definitely cast the Samurai next turn. We can definitely cast Tamiyo's Completion. So that's good. Yeah, this guy's getting binned because we can get him back. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. Sorry to swear, but yeah, that's absolutely disastrous. So what we want to do, I think we want to keep our removal spell. So unfortunately, yeah, we don't get to bring back Kairi. Okay, well, the choice here is that land gives me a life point, so we'll discard the island. Well, Tamiyo's Completion, the 5/5. We'll swing for 3. It's on 11, I'll play that, putting us on 12. Oh, he's got something really impressive there. You were already dead. Okay, yeah, there goes my life linker, and it's just a good measure. It's a cantrip. Now 2 green, blue, +3. I think we can play this as a creature, which is nice. Okay, what's... Nope, nope, I'm wrong. It's... my maths is wrong there. It actually costs 7. It doesn't cost 6. The one that costs 6 is in my graveyard. Never mind. So... that thing, it's got crew 4. So, at the moment he's got 3 crew. Is he going to put some more power out? And do I want to bring a certain card back from my... yeah, so he can now power that up. Oh god, it gives all ninjas and rogues +1/+1. Right, okay. Of course we can bring back Gloomshrieker and Kairi, but it's all a bit too slow. Is this thing... it has Menace, because it's... I think it has Menace anyway, but it's a vehicle. Menace. So I suppose the question is... right. I'm going to take 8 damage. Yep. Okay, right. Pass the damage. He might have direct damage as well. It looks pretty hopeless, I would have to say, because... okay, that's been sacrificed for 2 cards, nice. Target per exiles a creature they control, okay, that's fine. Alright, so, alright, good game. Get Kairi back, at least. So, the blue-black artifacts deck. Nice. Okie doke. So, hour and 20 minutes, potentially 3 more games. So yeah, 20 and a bit minutes per game. Okay, so this one, we've got 2 lands. We'd love to play Roaring Earth and then Coiling Stalker to turn 3, followed by a land. And then Grafted Growth turn 4. I think it's a keepable hand. And we'll see how much pressure he's going to put on me. Will I need to play that turn? I guess I'm going first, so... We haven't even considered the channel effect of this, but you think it's more of a late game thing, I suppose. But, yeah, it gives the creature haste as well. Okay, we did not draw a land. Both of these things need 3 mana. We'll play a Coiling Stalker. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's pretty decent, isn't it? This will take him up to 3/2, won't it? So... doesn't seem like a good trade, attacking into that, so I'm going to say no attacks. Especially when I can grow even bigger. But, right, now, got different options. Got options next turn, so now I've got 3 land. We can Grafted Growth, but you might want to Golden Tail Disciple. Circuit Hacker, yes. Nice, let's drawing a card off that. It's pretty good. Can we afford to delay our ramping? Yeah, I think life boosted up life is probably a pretty good plan. So you can. Okay, what does a forest do to change that plan? We can Grafted Growth. And, yeah. So yeah, we'll do Golden Tail Disciple Forest to boost him to 3/4. He can get boosted to 4/3, but he can still get traded off. Right. So yeah, that's it then. Lifelinker Forest taken on the Lifelinker. No attacks. We've got some blue mana, so we can think about a removal card at some point. I think Grafted Growth next turn, and build up our Lifelinker a bit more. I don't want to use the Tanuki for a land, because it's with 1 land off casting it now. Oh, yeah, okay, he's got some bounce. Fair enough. Okay, I think we can't afford to let him get through with that, so we'll just quite happily trade off. Fall of Lord Konda does creatures, doesn't it? Okay, so I think Golden Tail Disciple just trudges out again. It feels quite horrible, isn't it? But I think it's going to get an artifact back. That's an enchantment. You drew a card, right? So he gets a 3/3 flyer. And we have my mana, so we cancel. And is he... what's happening? Ninjutsu again. Yeah, seeing a lot of these coverts actually these days. So, does he get to play another creature? Nice. Okay. Now, he's got 5 cards in his hand. He's still got a Searchlight Companion. I've got lots of single target stuff. So I think it's a pretty rubbish situation. I think we've got to do... just tap these these lads carefully because I think we want to put... Oh, okay, no, undo. We did it, we tapped wrong. Tapping that for green, that for white, that for green. Doing a Grafted Growth on that forest. Do it quickly enough. So we're only going to let's see, we're only going to stop 2 damage potentially. So I'm going to swing in to try and just get some things going. You'll have more bounce, more tap. I can't rely on this guy to block with. That as well. So I can't play 3s. I cannot play 1s either. We'd love to do a Fall of Lord Konda on that guy. So, this is getting a bit tough. Okay, well that gives us a life point and it builds up our golden tail disciple a bit more. Let's see, we've got 5 mana. We could use an expensive removal spell. Can't use an Intercessor's first. Let's do it. The count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. That's 13 damage coming through. I'm going to be on 15 because I'm totally going to attack with this. Puts me on 15, then the best thing I can do is tap down I'm going to tap down his Covert Technician, which seems a bit stupid, but it stops 2 damage. Just because I know I might be able to blow that up next turn with Fall of Lord Konda. That's the only reason for that. If I'm not dead this turn. It's quite an impressive array of creatures he's managed to get out. A lot of Searchlight Companion bouncing with ninjutsu. So I can do double removal next turn. Suspect it will not be enough for this army I've got in front of me. One and a single creature isn't going to do much. It's going to block a 1/1 or a 2/1. And that guy, he's got Ward 2, so yeah, so I can't even do much about him effectively. Now, he's done a Moon Snare Specialist there. He's halved his damage by 1, he's bounced up. I'm not dead, but yeah, I don't get to cast a... That's interesting. Oh, it's an ability, so it's not a spell. So Living Breakthrough doesn't fire off. Okay, so we're on 3 life points, and he's going to give me 2 life points. Okay, right. Fall of Lord Konda, I think, is called for here. should take out Moon's Specialist, I suppose, but we'll take that out. Oh yes, of course, he's got a thingy he can do. Right. Nice little card. If I arrest, I'm still taking loads of damage. And he's got so many ways to. So I think my instinct to keep attacking the lightning made sense. He's just got a lot of ways to kill you, to tap you guys. Okay. So second defeat. So we started off well, didn't we? 5 wins in a row, I think, and or around about that much. So we've got 1 hour and 6 minutes for potentially. Oh yeah, 2 games. It's going to be maximum of 2 games. We've got over half an hour for each game. I think big creature decks are always going to struggle against sort of tempo decks that just tap down your big creatures or bounce them back to your hand. So just all that mana you invest in your big creature isn't you're not getting any value out of it. So let's look at this hand. It's not the greatest. It does have my 3 main colours, but it's got one of my big creatures there. I mean, it's decent. It means I don't have any early creatures to go with Roaring Earth. I think that's why it's not so great. But I can get a 4th land there, so it's not bad. But it's not great. Okay, yeah, we can't use that yet. It's a good start. Modern 8 is a good card. Just thinking about our possibilities with Roaring Earth. I think, yeah, we could top deck a 2 mana creature. So we do Roaring Earth now. We've got a pretty good record of actually drawing this in our opening hand. Just not always getting the creatures to go with it. So this is another blue deck. It could be quite challenging again if they've got a lot of bounce, a lot of tempo plays. We'll see. What's he discarded there? Oh, the blue shrine. We've got a Toad Rider. That's so he's playing black as well. And that can make another 3/3. That's quite a scary card. And he's getting a 2/3 flyer next turn. Oh, I see that mills people. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So we've actually not hit a creature, but a 2 mana creature. We've got a 3 mana creature, which we don't really want to play at the moment. I think we are going to do a forest. I think, yeah, I've got a bit of a plan. So we play the forest now, and we'll go next and enter. So I'm gonna ramp out with Greater Tanuki at the end of the turn, which isn't great because we're not getting a counter from Roaring Earth, but I think that's the way the cookie crumbles. We just have to accept that. Because we want to get out our big flyer, ultimately. And this is going to help us towards that. And we need a swamp for Gloomshrieker as well. Does this completely lose all abilities, doesn't untap? That's pretty good, isn't it? Right, so we could do removal on that before he gets an enchantment. We do have land in our hand. I think I'm gonna play the Gloomshrieker. It's gonna get countered. I've made a mistake. But at least I've still got Tamiyo's Completion, I suppose. Oh, he didn't get countered. That's interesting. I think we need this as a land, and we're going to play it. Yeah, we'll play this now. That's fine. That's our first token. And we'll just get Commune with Spirits out of the way. Right. All of Lord Konda is not going to work on the Toad Rider. But we do need that 6th land. Quite a lot, so let's take that 6th land. Interesting, so he did have that, and he's made his frog. Okay, that's a lot of damage. That's, oh dear, 10 damage. Oh well. Yeah, I didn't predict that play. I forgot, so I could see it in my own hand. It's got flash. It's a flash enchantment. I wasn't thinking flash enchantment at all. Right. We're on 7. I think we've got to use the turtle's bounce ability. Unfortunately not on Gloomshrieker. I think we've just got to stop a bit of damage coming in. I think, yeah, Tamiyo's Completion needs to happen on Toad Rider. Let's go get Mirror Shell grabbed, okay. We're gonna, oh shit, yeah, I've just run out of time. We're thinking a bit too long, and he's just gonna win now, so I didn't get to my land. That's fair enough. We just thought too long. But he had the upper hand there, and that's the end of the run. We made it to silver 2, which is quite nice, so yeah. 5 and 3. Was it, I think 3 losses in a row at the end? Or something like it. May have been 4 wins and a loss, I'm not sure. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I'd go 0-3 with that deck. So, yeah, pretty decent. 650 gems. That's quite fun, really. So let's have a look at our packs. green dragon. Flying Death Touch. When it dies, you can get 3 lands. Or an XX spirit creature token, where X is the number of lands you control. Oh, that's nice. There's our friend, the Gloomshrieker. Okay, that's another new one. A mythic rare. Blade of the Oni. An equipment demon. 3/1 menace. So it's a pretty good evasion creature in its own right. Reconfigure for 4. And that creature gets base power and toughness 5/5. Gets menace. There's a black demon. Okay, so yeah, basically you're turning another one of your creatures into a 5/5 menace. Pretty neat. I think I can do a little summary of that that draft run. I've remembered to copy my draft deck into my decks. Yeah, so as I said, I thought I'd go 0-3 with the deck because I felt it was a bit slow and it couldn't stop early game, strong early game decks. That was borne out at the end of the run. I think that's kind of a description of what happened in the last 3 games. We couldn't match their more efficient plays with sort of some nice ninjutsu cards and some nice tempo plays, and we just couldn't quite get going. I was often stuck with my ramp cards, Grafted Growth, Greater Tanuki, trying to figure out how to get them out, but also trying to deal with the enemy's board, which is getting out of hand. I'd pop out 1 or 2 creatures, but they'd get dealt with. I'd either trade off, they'd get dealt with somehow. So yeah, so that's sort of that was my fear, but it performed really well. The first 5 matches, I hit my mana pretty consistently. I used Greater Tanuki most of the time for mana fixing, I think, and Grafted Growth. I don't think I ever used Sunblade Samurai to find a plains, which was interesting. I just never quite had time to do that, or I had better options. Satsuki was like my pack 1, pick 1, slightly dubious, and it didn't actually give me any value in that game. It never actually died when it could return a saga or bounce a saga or enchantment creature. But that's to be expected. We didn't draw him very often, basically. But that's what I feared with just the 2 sagas, Modern Age and Fall of Lord Konda. So Commune with Spirits was definitely a good choice in this deck because it's got 33 targets out of 40 cards. Modern Age was good. I think there's one game where it had to come out a bit later. I didn't hit any blue mana. Bamboo Grove Archer, yeah, that was pretty nice. We had one good play. We actually did channel that to kill a replication specialist, so that definitely earned its place in the deck. So I'm absolutely fine with this deck having a defender. I just want to slow down the enemy aggro a bit until I can get out my big creatures. Coiling Stalker, yeah, he came out a few times. He's okay, just okay. He did attract a bit of removal, I think. Roaring Earth, we got that in lots of games, but we didn't. Yeah, the problem with that card, we couldn't always capitalize on lands coming into play because we didn't have enough creatures. They were all getting sort of dealt with later on by the tempo decks. They were getting bounced around or tapped out. Yeah, Golden Tail Disciple. Yeah, he had quite a few quite good moments of just swinging in to keep me alive for maybe couple more turns. Yeah, and these are just that's just a good removal card, isn't it? Fall of Lord Konda is the dodgy removal card, which I think it was I did manage to use it a few times, but it really wasn't amazing. And late on, I was just getting completely run over by 1, 2, and 3 casting cost sort of creatures. This is the card I actually cut from the deck, Debt to the Kami. I didn't think I could consistently cast that on turn 3. I don't think it would have been that amazing, just because the problems I had were with people with massive boards of creatures. So losing one creature wasn't going to be a problem for them. Yep, Grafted Growth, pretty decent ramp card. It's you don't want this in every deck, but it was right for this deck, I think. Gloomshrieker was great. It just works really well with Greater Tanukis and Skyturtles. You can channel them for a useful effect and then Gloomshrieker them back. Repel the Vile. Not sure we even used this once. Tamiyo's Completion is pretty good, but it can, of course, people can often bounce their creatures and save them from it. But I think it's still really good, especially because it's got flash. We got we got a surprise there in that against the Toad Rider. He can flash out of Tamiyo's Completion and get his 3/3 frog. And he could have done that in response to my Tamiyo's Completion, so even if I'd done that, so it wasn't going to be a problem for him. So Sunblade Samurai, I think, yeah, there's definitely one game we got him out. As I say, we never actually channeled it for planes. Yeah, this guy was. We drew him a few times, we played him a few times, but I think he was only decisive once. I don't think he actually died at any point either to get the nice effect. Greater Tanuki, as fantastic as I thought it was the first time I'm actually playing green in draft. So yeah, would definitely draft more of these. Colossal Skyturtle, it's a complicated card. It can do a lot of different things, and it was really good. I think towards the end there I forgot that it cost 7 and not 6. So I was using the channel effect most of the time, but I did get the 6/5 flower a few times. And March's Swirling Mist, I think I remember this stopping at 8 damage at one point. That was quite good. I think I might have taken out a token creature as well with it. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that was just okay, I guess. I think I suppose if I'd drawn it later, I could have taken out a lot of token creatures in one turn. But then again, I was running into blue decks who are running the Mirror Shell Crab, so a lot of things I was tapping out for were getting countered. So I would probably suffer the same fate. Yeah, I mean it's an instant card, so I suppose you could let's see. Kairi could potentially bring that back from the graveyard. So I don't know if these belong in the deck, 'cause it's sort of an enchantment saga deck. So, yeah, all in all, I was surprised how well this deck did, and how, you know, I did focus quite hard in the draft on just making sure I could cast all my spells, getting a lot of mana, as much mana fixing as I could. And it did seem to turn out reasonably well. Maybe I probably missed a few decent removal spells, a few decent early creatures, but I think it was worth it in the end. Right, I think that's it. So actually, it looks like so this quick draft is timing out today in about, you know, in under an hour. So we'll just see what the next quick draft is. And the next sealed deck as well. I think we're due for yeah, I can just check it to see if there's anything new. Oh, there we go. Yep, quick draft Crimson Vow is already up, so I've never drafted that. So that'll be fun. No sealed deck events yet, and maybe there'll be another one soon. All right, I'll just stop things there.